Imagine this scenario, because I'd bet almost everyone watching this has experienced it at some point. You just made your final payment on your student loan, or maybe you finally paid off that credit card balance you'd been carrying since your first year out of school. You feel proud. You did the responsible thing. You expect your credit score to go up, because that's what you were told would happen. But a week later, you check your score out of curiosity, and it has dropped. 12 points, maybe 15, just like that. You didn't miss a payment. You didn't spend recklessly. You did exactly what every financial article tells you to do, and the number still went down. This isn't a glitch, and it isn't unfair banking. This is a mechanical trap almost nobody explains to you before you fall into it. Once you understand how it actually works, you'll never look at your credit report the same way again. My name is TJ. If you're someone who feels like you're doing everything right with your credit, and your score still moves in the wrong direction for reasons nobody explains, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We're about to demystify those confusing credit score drops. Here's the core idea that explains almost every confusing credit score drop you'll ever encounter. I call it the snapshot problem. Your credit score was never a reward for good behavior. It's a snapshot of a handful of numbers, taken on one single day. And some of those numbers can actually get worse from actions that feel completely responsible. Let's break down what's actually inside that snapshot. 30% of your score comes from your credit utilization. That's how much of your available credit you're currently using, compared to your total limit. 15% comes from the average age of your accounts. This measures how long, on average, you've had credit open. 10% comes from your credit mix. This refers to the variety of credit types on your file. The rest comes from your payment history and any new credit inquiries. Here's where the trap actually lives. Paying off that credit card didn't just clear a debt. If you closed the account afterward, it also shrank your total available credit and your account history. Both of those factors live inside that same snapshot. You did something smart, and the snapshot still moved against you. Because the snapshot was never measuring whether your decision was smart. It was only ever measuring these narrow numbers. Let's look at where this specifically shows up for someone your age. Let's say you finally pay off the one credit card you opened in your first semester in your college, and you close it because you don't use it anymore. That account disappears from your total available credit. Now, if you have another card with a balance on it, your utilization on that remaining card just went up, even though you didn't spend a single extra dollar. Or, imagine you get your first real paycheck and use a chunk of it to pay down your credit card balance in full, right before you head out to celebrate. Genuinely a great move. But you did it 3 days before your statement closing date. Some issuers report your balance to the credit bureaus on that closing date, not on the day you actually paid. So, the system may have already recorded last month's higher balance before your payment ever shows up. Or think about your parents adding you as an authorized user on their card back when you were 18 to help you start building credit. Now imagine you finally get your own card and stop using theirs. If their balance runs high relative to their limit, that authorized user account can still be sitting on your report, dragging your utilization down, even though none of that spending was ever yours. None of these are mistakes. They're just moments where the snapshot catches a number in a bad spot, completely disconnected from whether you're actually handling your money well. There's a specific frustration that comes from this, and it's worth naming directly. When something happens that you couldn't predict and can't fully control, especially something tied to money, it starts to feel like the whole system is rigged against you personally. It's not rigged, it's mechanical. The scoring model doesn't know your intentions. It only sees account status, balances, and dates. That gap between what you actually did and what the number shows is exactly what makes this feel personal when it isn't. So here's what you actually do with this information. Before closing any credit card, check how old that account is. If it's one of your oldest, keep it open, even if unused. Just run one small charge through it every few months so the issuer doesn't close it for inactivity on their end. If you're about to pay off a large balance, pay it down before your statement closing date, not after. That way, the lower balance is what actually gets reported. Before you stop using an authorized user card, understand that account's history and utilization has been quietly helping your score this whole time. Removing it changes the picture. And when you see a small temporary drop, 10 or 15 points, don't panic. It usually recovers within a month or two, as long as your actual habits stay consistent underneath it. Your credit score was never designed to reward you in the moment you make a good decision. It's designed to summarize a handful of numbers on the exact day it happens to be calculated. Once you stop expecting the number to match your effort and start understanding what it's actually measuring, these drops stop feeling like a punishment and start feeling like something you can plan around. If this explained a score drop that confused you before, tell me what happened in your situation down in the comments. And if you know someone who just paid something off and can't figure out why their score moved the wrong way, send them this video. It might save them a stressful afternoon of Googling for answers. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into how your money really works.